It made me really think like, okay, if we're taught all of this stuff that's kind of complicated, might I add, like a lot of algebra 1, 2. Remember, I'm a finance major. I love math. So I had pre-calculus, I had calculus. This is difficult stuff. You know what I mean? And everybody took this class. It wasn't like you had to be an engineer to take it. These are just classes that you had to take to graduate. So I know that we could have learned about how to balance your checkbook. I know we could have learned about how to value a property, how to do your taxes, how to pay yourself through life insurance. Like, yo, the information that I know now, I could have learned then. Welcome, you too. Welcome. It is Dre Mudaris here, and I'm so excited to be with you guys today. Today I wanted to talk about a couple things, just to keep the motivation there. Like I said to you guys before, this is really going to be that channel that's just going to be in the process of what's happening now, because a lot of people are out here talking from the view of just success, or also they're talking from the view of just worldly principles. So I want this channel to be a little bit more of the spiritual principles, because it's a lot of spiritual components. We are in a spiritual warfare right now, so you have to make sure not only your mind's right, not only your body's right, but that spirit is right as well. So I want the channel to be for that. Also, I'm in the process, man. Statistics is saying that this generation is this is the first time in history where the generation before is doing worse than the generation current. The generation current is doing worse than the generation before. All right, this is the first time in African American history that this generation is doing worse than the previous generation. So what does that mean? Well, a 30-year-old today is doing a lot worse than a 30-year-old than our parents when they was 30-year-old, right? When your parents was 30-year-old, they're probably kids, house, you know what I'm saying, good job that they can retire on, credit all right, credit good, they learning how business works. This generation, boy, let me tell you, I'm living it, I'm out here, and you could have a good job, have a great job, and still be struggling, like still be figuring it out, like in your 30s. So don't let the cap or all these people on Instagram and YouTube fool you. Like, it ain't like the typical successful millionaire doesn't get rich until 57, like average. So all of this quick, if you're doing it right, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are doing a lot of other things, but we ain't gonna talk about that. If you're doing it right, if you're trying to do it the right way, it's going to not be overnight success. And I want to be the person to tell you, from somebody that's not talking at you, but talking with you, because I'm currently in a situation or similar situation to where I understand the weight, I understand the stress, I understand the dynamics of the inflation. I currently understand the dynamics of the economy. You know what I'm saying? I understand how you can have a college degree but not be getting nowhere near what you pay for your education. Like, I get it, but I also get it that you're able to start a business and be successful. You're able to not only invest in many of different things right now, but we are at a time where the wealth is transferring. Like, the gap is getting bigger, but also that wealth is transferring. Money before isn't money today. So it's the best time ever to just educate yourself, man. Let education be the tool and the motivation for you to get out of whatever you're in. And I just want to be the person to tell you that as I'm educating myself, I want to get on here and tell you what I'm learning. Because when you teach, you learn twice, right? When you teach, you learn twice. So I'm not here to be like a lecturer. I don't want these episodes to be like, this is what you got to do to be successful. Nah, I get it. You could be like, well, I got to listen to you. But honestly, I'm not going to say I'm where I want to be, but I ain't where I used to be, right? So I'm a lot further than a lot of the mistakes that a lot of mistakes that you can avoid, I've already done, right? So if I could tell you how to avoid some of the things, I'm doing my job, I'm doing my part, and I'm not being selfish with the information, because that's one of the main things I want to get on here and talk to y'all, because the information is one of the most important things ever. Because think about how much further you will be if you knew what you know now, right? And think about how much further you will be to get to where you want to go if you have the information to get there. So this channel is really for my youth, it's really for my parents that's still figuring it out. Still, this is for my grandparents that have no idea how this new era of wave of money is about to go. This is really for the youth, the people coming into business, they're coming into understanding how things go. It's for them to really grasp and take hold of the fact that, this is the greatest time ever to be alive. I'm gonna keep saying that because there's never been a time in history where we had so much information. It's kind of information overload if you think about it, if you allow it to be. That's where it comes into you knowing yourself. That's where it comes into channels like this and other people to kind of direct you in knowing how to really maneuver on a spiritual level, right? Because you ever had an intuition, you ever just know something, but you don't know how you know, or you ever just thought of something and then it came, your spirit is real. Listen to it. You ever had a gut feeling? Like all of these are bigger than just the physical realm that we in. Now I'm a God-fearing man, so this will be a lot based off of the principles of just the kingdom principles, right? Not on no religious stuff and the difference between religion and faith. That's a whole nother episode that you guys should look. I did already. Look at that episode on the difference between religion and having faith, man, because this isn't a religious thing where we talking about gotta do this to get to, nah, this ain't that. This is just kingdom principles. Just like we have laws, physical laws, you know what I'm saying? Like we have laws in the spiritual realm. Now what physical laws do we have? Well, we have the law of gravity. We have the law of conservation. We have so many laws that I'm actually going to do another episode because there's so many that really parallel with the spiritual realm that I'm going to really dissect. But this episode, I just want to tell y'all a little bit about how I blew $100,000. $100,000, and this is going to be on a lot of jumps. So have your notebook out. Now, how did I get the 100,000? Tax free with cash flow in while I was waiting to get that cash out. That's in a previous episode that I did. And long story short, it was just simply a real estate purchase. My first real estate purchase. I used the FHA program, got a 3.5% down payment, got the house. I think I paid like 120, 130, and we sold the house for like 260, 270, 280. All right, that's it in a small form, but check the other video to get the details about that. But how did I blow that 100,000? Because we just talked about how I could understand the dynamic of the stress, of the weight, of the financial pressure of the economy right now. But I had 100,000 liquid cash. How? And I'm teaching about financial literacy. Like how? How is this? Why should I listen to you, Dre? You clearly don't know what you're talking about. Or did I just take the risk? Did I just take the L's, the lessons? Because we don't take losses. Did I just take the lessons that I'm able to now use those lessons and maneuver in a way to where I'm about to 10x because I took lessons early on. A lot of people never touched 100,000 cash. I touched 100,000 cash early on. I blew 100,000 cash early on, which means I will never, ever, and this is my word, I am never gonna let that happen again. So if I had to go through that to get to this point, I'm cool with it. But I can say I blew 100,000 cash. That's different. Now, how did I get out of it? How did I get in like 60,000 in debt? How did I go from 100,000 to negative 60? Well, this is why you need to watch this episode. This is why you need to watch these episodes so you can see. You can see how somebody is in the process of maneuvering with different type of tax brackets, different type of numbers, and doing it with a smile. and understanding like, okay, the fact that our parents are probably, hopefully, if we're lucky, our parents kind of know a little bit about financial literacy. But most parents don't know anything. So we are the first generation that's kind of like figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? We listening to people that really don't know what they're talking about. We watching YouTube videos and trying to figure it out. Like, for instance, the Turo play. Nobody's renting cars like that. So if you invested early on with your PPP with that Turo play, it's not looking good for you because if you have a new car, you bought a 2023 car like I did. You bought a 2023 car like I did, then you will understand that you got ripped off. You got ripped off. You definitely got ripped off because that's a whole nother episode. I don't want to get into that because I'm gonna get triggered. But just know that the Turo play is dead. Airbnb play, how many Airbnb gurus out there right now? It's crickets, right? But before it was popping. All right. Did the Airbnb play, did the Turo play. Trucking, got my CDL. Trucking is cool, but trucking, you need to have a driver, a dedicated driver, because if you don't invest in having a good driver, you will be in some not a good situation. It'll be another job, right? A lot of things you want to kind of, at least like I did, right? You get some cash, you get some influx of money. You kind of want to put yourself in a position where you got passive income, right? You don't want to work you don't mind working, but you want your money to work for you, right? But a lot of us don't know, the dynamics of that. And it sucks because I'm actually a finance major. I actually work for the banks. So it's not on some ignorance, like I don't know. It's just you don't it's hard to talk about until you actually got $100,000 in your bank account. And it's like you could do this, you could do that, you could do this. You know what I'm saying? Like I bought the M850 BMW. I lived in a high rise downtown Atlanta. These are all dreams I had as a kid. That's why I'm happy that I had that opportunity to live that phase of my life so early on. So I'm done with that. Like I don't care to impress anybody or any of that stuff, especially now because I got that out of my system. So I don't want y'all to feel sorry for me. Like, damn, Dre. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm great. It just sucks because we are this time has forced me to re-educate myself. Like this time of just not being able to spend like I once was, to go out and be comfortable. Like I'm one of those people, like if I'm not comfortable, I'm not going outside like that. Like I just don't I'm not gonna be happy. Like what are we partying for? What are we drinking for? Like I'm messed up right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to figure out like this light gonna get, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot going on. Oh, and remember I said I was doing an Airbnb, so I had and Toro. So I just want you to know I had two cars and two cribs. But I just want to put in perspective because people think money is a lot more than it is. Money is relative to your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like people be wondering how millionaires be broke. Like I said, money is relative to your lifestyle. If you live in a $900,000 lifestyle, that million ain't really a million. So I digress. But let's get back to how I spent this 100. So you had some of the inputs, how I blew it. I had the high rise downtown. We bought the 850 to put on Turo. That didn't work out. A couple investments went bad. The e-commerce play. Y'all know about the Shopify play where you could do drop shipping. I actually ended up spending like $30,000 to like a professional company to do that. It was like 20 to 30. I took out a $30,000 loan with Cabbage. That was American Express. Just so you know, the plays that people. I remember the credit plays. I ain't gonna say no name, but you remember the business credit plays. You know, all of this, all of that. Like nobody's on YouTube telling you what happens when you do the plays that these gurus tell you and it don't work. Like, do y'all know the suicide level has increased drastically in the last year? Like, it's not a matter of understanding, what's going on, but people got money and then they lost money and they got into a worse position than they was in previously, and that's mentally exhausting You know what I'm saying? But to have it and to lose it is a lot worse than to never have it, because you can't miss what you never had. My OG told me that. But he was talking about women. But my OG told me that you can't feel no type of way for something that you never had. You know what I'm saying? But to have something and then lose it is one of the worst feelings in the world. So I'm actually here to tell you that money's relative. 100K was a wake up part of my life. I never touched that much money, but it also showed me that I was thinking way too small. Like 100,000 was cool. 6 figures is alright, but I saw a couple things that changed my whole perspective on life. I seen somebody make $1 million plus in 15, 16 minutes. And I seen it was a TED talk too. It was a TED talk. I saw a TED talk, and he had a nonprofit, and when they calculated the results from that TED talk, it was over 1 million plus. I cannot unsee that. So that's why I did that video on the types of levels of value, because I realized I was working way too hard on those lower levels of value, which is um, implementation and unification. I was working way too hard. So I kind of just switched up how I was moving and realized that I'm over here happy that I got and it took me 5 years, 4 to 5 years to get the 100,000, by the way, that lump sum. Because remember, I got the money through real estate, but I had to sell that real estate to get that cash out. And I had the property for a good 3 to 4 years. And that was cool because I was cash flowing. You know what I'm saying? I had 2 tenants, getting that cash flow. So that was lovely. And then it was tax free. Everything was cool on that. But you have to realize that seeing somebody make over $1 million in 15 minutes, as opposed to me being excited to making 100,000 in 4 to 5 years, come on. What are we doing here? That's why I studied. That's why I learned. That's why I'm telling you. Now is that time while the government is in the process of the new era of how we're about to do things, because technology is vastly like increasing. Like everything is about to change. Medicine, health, education, fitness, all of that. Yeah, like the way technology is moving, things are not about to be the same. And I'm seeing it. I'm learning about it, and I'm studying. That's why I wrote books about it. Because again, when you teach, you learn twice. So I'm only writing books because I'm just able to process the information that I just learned, and I'm taking the information and I'm asking myself, how can I explain this to a first grader? That's really all I'm doing. I don't want y'all to think I'm doing some genius thing. All I'm doing is just learning complicated things like taxes, real estate, life insurance, and I'm just talking it to my younger self on how I would love to teach my younger self this information, because we were able to understand this information. I mean, we know about the Pythagorean theorem. We know how to dissect frogs. We know God knows all types of geometries and all types of science and stuff. So I know that we're capable at a young age to learn this financial stuff, right? And then it made me put me in a box. It made me really think like, okay, if we're taught all of this stuff that's kind of complicated, might I add, like a lot of algebra 1, 2. Remember, I'm a finance major. I love math. So I had pre-calculus, I had calculus. This is difficult stuff. You know what I mean? And everybody took this class. It wasn't like you had to be an engineer to take it. These were just classes that you had to take to graduate. So I know that we could have learned about how to balance your checkbook. I know we could have learned about how to value a property, how to do your taxes, how to pay yourself through life insurance. Like, yo, the information that I know now, I could have learned then. And it's that very reason why that I'm so passionate to keep learning. I'm passionate because they say that you have to do what you love, but I disagree with that, because I don't necessarily love writing books. I don't, but it's a need that it's a need that I saw that needs to happen to fulfill my purpose of my God-given ability to not only accomplish what I'm here to do, which is to empower my people, but also be that missing piece, that missing link to set us back on track, because we were not behind and lack financial literacy. I don't want y'all to think that as Black people, we lack financial literacy. I want y'all to know that every single Black leader that spoke about financial literacy got assassinated, and every community that established collective economics, which is working with my brothers and sisters, got bombed. So this whole thing of us being not knowing financial literacy is a new phenomenon. We come from wealth. We come from understanding this, right? That something happened to where we just learned a lot of the information that taught us on how to empower ourselves and started picking up new information that did no benefit to us as a community. They say the black dollar stays in our community less than an hour of circulation. Not many communities are like that, all right? When you do the numbers, it's an anomaly. That's not supposed to be like that. And the reason is because we don't understand money and currency. We understand the dollar, but once we start to realize the difference between the dollar and currency, things will start to change. When we start understanding the power of collective economics, because we, again, with the blockchain, people talking about NFTs and crypto and all of that, but don't forget about the blockchain and understand what crypto and Bitcoin was even created for. Like, we can't forget the utility because of the hype of the different things. And this is why I want our people to understand, like, we have the technology built out to build our own banking system. You know, the AKA just created their first, not chartered bank, but their first credit union, right? You know, AKA was founded in 1906. 2023, they just created the first credit union. So when I say this is the best time ever to be alive, I'm telling you that we can now communicate, educate, inform discreetly in a radical way, because we have the information available to us. We just have to dissect and do the work. And now is not the time to be lazy, because we are now we have the power that our ancestors could only dream of having. So what are we going to do with that power? Waste it? After all the work that they did without any of this information, any of this technology, they did the civil rights movement. They went through that whole era before the civil rights movement. I want you to realize, before the civil rights movement and after World War II was probably one of the worst. That was terrorism. Like, there's no other way to say it. After World War II and before the civil rights movement, there had to be a reason for a civil rights movement. I just want to be clear here, right? It was straight terrorism. Now, if you do the years between World War II, and just so you know, we fought World War II, all right? We fought, and we were guaranteed and promised the whole 40 acres and a mule. And if you do your history lesson, we actually were, like, California has so much area that was designated for our people. Abraham Lincoln was going to give us the 40 acres and a mule. Do you know how much wealth? Do you realize how much wealth would be generated if America kept their promise? Not saying that we need that 40 acres, because we're going to do it we're going to do it regardless. But I just want you to know that whole 40 acres and a mule concept do your own research. That 40 acres and a mule concept wasn't just let's just say it. No. Like, Abraham Lincoln got assassinated for a reason. Find out why he got assassinated. Like, it was a reason, man. And it's really crazy when you think about colored girls in the STEM program that's very adamant right now because of AI and how we were, just watch that movie, The Colored Girls, and get like an idea of how hard it was. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, we can't allow our parents and our parents' parents and the generation before us, they work to go in vain. Because like I said, like I started off this video saying, this is the generation this is the first time in history that a generation is doing worse than a prior generation. This is despicable. It's disgusting, because we have more tools than ever before, but we're doing worse than ever before. It's not making any sense. So it leaves me two reasons for this. One, we're distracted. We're distracted like a mother. And number two, we are not doing the work. We're lazy. We're lazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. As a community, there's no reason why we're not reading every day. Like, there's no reason why you're not reading everything. And I know, like, Dre, it's impossible to read everything. There's so many books out there, blah, blah, blah. But if you're not motivated, right? If you don't have anything that wakes you up in the morning, right? You need to find that. And once you find what's motivating you and what wakes you up in the morning, you need to read every single book on that. And the reason being, there's no excuse for you not to be an expert in the things that motivate you. Life is way too short to BS this, all right? Life is way too short, I promise you. I lost both my grandparents, both my grandmothers, my dad's mom, my mom's mom, back to back, like, yeah, last year or 2 years ago. It's all a blur because I still miss them. But I'm telling you, it feels like yesterday because life is too short. You're here today, you're gone tomorrow. So why are you playing with your time? Don't half-ass anything moving forward. Let this video be a confirmation. Do not half-ass anything moving forward. This is your time, and you have the opportunity to become an expert in anything that you wish or so. So you need to make sure that you become an expert in it, because money has a way to follow the experts. All right. So you have a money issue, become an expert at something. Money has a way to follow experts. That's that. All right. So we have the 100,000. Let's get back to that. So I got the 100 cash out. You see the property. We got the cars. We got the investments. We got all of these plays because it was around the time, like, I got the money right before, around the pandemic. I closed 2022 or 21, one of those years. But I say that it was a time where, a lot of people getting quick money. So a lot of people had a lot of get rich money ideas. And I fell for a lot of them. I'm human. I'm not going to lie. But again, I felt like I had to go through that. So now I'm very mindful of who I listen to, who I tell I even got the money. That's another thing. Sometimes some of us, we talk too much. We telling people and we don't know if they're already scheming on our money that we didn't get yet. Like, hey man, I'm gonna close on this house. I'm gonna get 100,000. You have any ideas? Man, I don't know your background. Even ask you. Like, I saw a quote that said, "Don't feel disrespected by people you don't respect." It said, "Do not feel disrespected by people you don't even respect." And I'm realizing that I'm not saying I didn't respect a lot of people, but I don't know your resume to be taking your advice on. I don't know you ever touch 100K cash. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, I hate to say it, but that's where the facade comes in. I'm living in Atlanta, so it's nothing but facade. And once I got through that, like, oh, he got a Bentley, but it's a rented. Did he get it? Did he need a credit partner? Like, is he just trying? You know what I'm saying? Because remember, I had the 850, and when I had the 850, I was seeing, I'm I'm in the 850 driving to my high rise downtown, and every month I'm stressing because the account is just getting lower and lower. As an entrepreneur, that's the scariest feeling. The scariest feeling, because not only am I over here trying to get book sales, but I'm also over here trying to make this money work. So I'm investing a lot of the money into the books, but I'm doing it in a way like, yeah, I got the bread. So I'm not doing it from the mindset of Power of Broke. That's a great book by Dre Mudaris. Y'all should read it. Owner, the founder of Fubu. Read that book. It's The Power of Broke. That book changed my life. But that book is pretty much about when you're in a position of lack of finances, you're in a position of power because you have less to lose, so you're willing to do more than somebody that's a little bit more safe, right? For instance, I just went out to Lithuania. It took me about 50 minutes to get there. I went there for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So it took me about 50 minutes back. So let's just round that to an hour. So 2 hour trip took only, it was 5 minutes, right? Why did I do it? Power broke. I got nothing to lose. The person I wanted to see that was that far away had the information, or even I just wanted to know who I was. That wasn't a DM or a text. I wanted them to actually see me face to face. Have that personal connection. I'm hungry. Power broke. What I gotta lose? Now, if I had like couple 100,000 in the bank. I'm like, I send an email, they get back to it. So that's pretty much the concept of the power of the broke. It's just, when you don't have it right now, you're actually in a position of power, because you're actually, when your back's against the wall, you're actually more capable to make things happen than somebody that's got, that they heavy. You right? You know what I'm saying? Like, to give you an example, like a hungry person is willing to do a lot more than somebody that's belly is full. You know what I mean? They ready to take a nap. They chilling. They want to go on another vacation. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's hungry, we ain't doing that. It's like, where it's at. It's you versus you. So either you want to make it happen or you're not going to make it happen. But regardless of the decision you make, you're making a decision. So you definitely want to be sure to make the right decision. You know what I'm saying? If you want this, if this is what you say you want, if you want to be successful, if you want to be the first millionaire, billionaire in your family, if you want to break generational curses, if you want to establish generational wealth, if you want to buy real estate, get to understand life insurance, credit, and do all of that, you got to make that investment. And that first investment is you. I like Alex Hormozy said it best. Like, don't worry too much about the S&P 500 if you're not worried about the Me 500. Charge. Go ahead. You want to get fucked up out here, Charge. Stop playing. Damn, what the fuck are you eating? This. Go to bed. Alex Hormozy said it best. Don't worry too much about the S&P 500 if you're not. Alex Hormozy said it best. Don't worry too much about the S&P 500 if you're not equally or even more motivated by the Me 500. So on that note, I'm signing out, man. I just want y'all to know, like, I'm going through it with y'all, man. This is, you gotta laugh at your pain, man. You gotta have fun with it, because again, let me be a witness. Let me be somebody or a mirror to show you what not giving up can do. Like, let me show you the beauty of somebody that's going to be successful or in the midst of successful, but showing you the process while it's happening, right? So we can look back at this video and I can say, oh no, I did a video of that topic when I was in that feeling that you're currently in. Like, oh, you don't know how you like, oh yeah, that video right there. And I'm like, yeah, it was that video. Oh yeah, I was using the generator to get those lights on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the type of things I want to do this for, because I'm realizing that the journey, like this part, is the beauty. Yo, this is what I learned that changed my whole thought process, man. It's like, money is cool. Like, you could like, I have a lot of wealthy friends, a lot of successful millionaires. They got bread. And what gets me motivated and excited about where we are all at right now is that all of these successful people are chasing the moment that we're in now. You get what I'm saying? Let me explain that. Everybody that is successful that I know is chasing this current moment. The current moment of, damn, will this work out? Or, yo, I got an idea, and what if it works out better than I imagined it to be? So they're chasing that feeling still. Like, I know them. I'm having conversations, and it's not just one. It's every one of them. It's like like, look at Elon. I don't know Elon personally, but look at Elon. Elon been good. Elon, since PayPal, Elon has no reason to be owning Twitter, launching stuff in space, and doing Tesla. Elon is chasing that same feeling from PayPal. It's like, yo, he has these ideas, and it's like, yo, this may work. I'm gonna make it work. Like, let's do it. Like, that's where we are right now. So the power of not giving up. Jay-Z said it best. The best thing he could have ever done was just not give up. So it's really just a power in starting now, and a power in not giving up. And also a power in having that idea and just working towards an idea and just not giving up, because it may turn out better than you ever imagined. It's like, Having that feeling is something that you should embrace. You shouldn't look at it like, ah, man, I'm not there yet. Like, this sucks. No, embrace it, because you got to always remember that successful person is chasing that moment that you're in now. So stay in that moment, enjoy that moment, learn from that moment, ride in that moment. Do what you got to do in that moment. The moment's not going to be here forever. All right? You're going to win. You're going to get it. I know you are. One, you watching me. So I already know your mind's at. And two, it's like the world has a way to make room for the person that's on a mission. It's like one of the laws, one of those spiritual laws I was talking about. Like, you can't put in the work and not get the results. It's like you can't plant the seed and not have the harvest. It's just a law. It has to come into a matter of what seeds are you planting. Are you planting the good seeds to get the good harvest? Are you planting bad seeds? Are you talking self-doubt? You being negative? You not being, you know, you're not being promising. You're not being confident, which means confide, which stands for trust. And you're not having trust in yourself because you're letting yourself down time over time over time. You know what I'm saying? That's actually reaping out of your energy when you meet people. People could tell when you're not being honest because you're not even being honest with yourself. It's energy. People know. And you're probably not showing up because you probably just don't even believe in yourself. The only person that knows the lies that you tell yourself is you. So what seeds are you planting? Because either way, you're planting seeds. So why not plant good seeds? Learn from people that's in the position that you are now, but that's also motivated, right? Also tested time, right? So it ain't no stopping. I mean, if I was gonna stop, I would have better stopped after I lost 100,000, right? So it's not about that. It's really about just staying on your grind, knowing that you got somebody that understands where you at, and also understands that this ain't it. This ain't the end of your story. This is just I'm not gonna say this the beginning, but it's kind of like being in a tunnel. It's kind of like being in a tunnel because once you go into that tunnel, you see nothing but darkness, right? You walking into the tunnel, you still got light behind you, but the more you go into that tunnel, the less light there is behind you. You get far enough into that tunnel, it's only going to be dark in front and dark in back, right? And that's where you are more than likely. You're probably in that middle of that tunnel, to where it's dark in front, it's dark in back, and you don't know what's going on, but you do know that you went too far to go. Well, you could still go back, but you know that the amount it takes to go back may also be the same amount it takes to go forward. Either way, you're gonna get light at the end of that tunnel. So why not just see it through? Push it through. Keep going through that tunnel in the midst of darkness. Yes, you could go back, but if you go back, you may be going further. You may be going further, and that's where your trust in yourself goes back. You have less confidence in yourself to move forward because you went so far back. You probably don't even want to even proceed to even try again. You know what I mean? That's actually one of the things of time that when I say time is too short, time is also not stopping for nobody. So regardless of what you do in this time, the time is going to go. So if you're in the tunnel and you go back, that's just time that you could have been moving forward. But that's all, man. I could talk to y'all all day, every day. I just want y'all to know. Wealthy Wednesdays, the Uncle Dre Show. I may have like 3 shows in one because I got a lot to say. Like I told you, I'm learning a lot. And the more I learn, the more I want to teach, because when I teach, I learn twice. So I have nothing but gems to give. And it's beautiful for me because I'm actually in a space to where I'm in the process. So I feel like this is more conversational, right? I've done a lot of talks to like teenagers, middle school students, and it's like it's cool when I'm like they think I made it, I'm accomplished, I've done stuff that they want to aspire to do. But what happens to when you see something you can't unsee? So now you're relentlessly on a mission to be the best at something, and why not have people watching that journey? And that's what this is. I'm relentlessly on my mission to become the greatest, and you're just going to see. I'm not gonna call it practice, but I'm gonna call it. You're gonna see the persistence. You want to see how. Oh wow! I remember when he first was talking. He's hitting them. The pause is there. He has better storytelling. Like it's just different. Cause I'm gonna put the work in. I'm gonna put the work in, but you're also putting the work in too. So we're gonna put this work in together, and we're gonna hold each other accountable. Because I'm realizing I'm actually I'm actually I'm very intentional about this, because I'm seeing so many people online talking from a place of they don't know, and they're trying to act like they know. It's like, bruh, you capping. Or two, you made it already, so you forgot the feeling of what happens when you figuring it out. Like, a lot of people be talking down on us, like they weren't once where we're at right now, and they kind of lost that. You know what I'm saying? So me noticing that is like, okay, let me be that bridge that could connect the people currently going through it, the people not too far behind, and also the people that didn't touch the 100,000, right? Because, like, again, some people had never even touched that cash liquid. I'm talking about, like, you go to the strip club and throw it if you want it, and you wasn't a rapper, you wasn't an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people have no idea of that concept, and it's scary. It's a scary feeling to have something, lose it, and then be on that road to get more. If if not 10x that, because you learn so much from the lessons of losing it. So welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. Keep tuning in each and every week, each and every day with all platforms. I'm going to drop, when I say every day, I'm gonna probably cut a lot of videos up, and so I could drop it each and every day. Keep y'all fed with the words of wisdom. Again, I'm gonna really touch into that spiritual law, the spirituality laws of stuff, because I'm realizing that, we are in a spiritual warfare, and I know the enemy has these soldiers, so I gotta show y'all God got soldiers too, right? God got soldiers too, and we here. So it ain't no like confusion in the lines that we on. It's just I'm seeing a lot of things are not of God's principles, not of God's kingdom, and we're not gonna sugarcoat it and make what's not the word his word, because it's not. It's just like, it's kind of what the enemy's doing in the art of confusion. It's like, it is what it is. God is who he is. Like, he is an I am. So even the atheists want to tell me who God is before they even tell me who they is. Because even if they say I am an atheist, you already told me who God is. Think about that. So see y'all next time. YouTubers, it's been real. Stay best by the blessed. And I am on currently day 32 of 75 Hard. If you don't know what 75 Hard is, it's a program by Andy Frisella, and it's pretty much, you have to work out twice a day, 45 minutes each. One time has to be outside. You have to read 10 pages. You have to drink a gallon of water a day. You have to drink no alcohol, no cheat meal, and that's pretty much it. And the reason why I brought that up is because I'm realizing that, day 32, it becomes addiction after 4 weeks, right? After 4 weeks, no, cross that out. After you start seeing results, when you start seeing results, it becomes addicting. That's when the addiction comes in. But they say it takes 4 weeks for you to see the results, 8 weeks for other people around you to see the results, and then 12 weeks for the whole world to see your results. So I'll say all that I have to say. Um, I'm gonna have y'all in that journey as well, right? It's 32, so I'm gonna let y'all know the progress of that. How that's making me feel, what I'm doing to stay consistent, what I'm doing to stay even motivated. So definitely, that'll be a segment. We got the chat with Uncle Dre segment as well, where you could call in and ask me a question, any question that you would like that has to do with financial literacy, or has to do with writing a book, or something that I currently done, because I can't speak. Chatting with Uncle Dre, is the purpose of that is to speak on what I've actually done. Right? I have no interest to talk about things that I'm currently doing, or things that I have not done yet. I'm not a chatty patty. I have no interest in trying to tell you some things just to talk to you. Like, no, I'm gonna tell you from experience, like how I blew 100,000. Like, that's experience. 75 Hard, the discipline in that, I'm gonna tell you that's experience. Or financial literacy in general. I mean, I got over 30 books, all different topics. So whether it's credit, taxes, I'm sure something I could, break down something complicated to you, or I could refer you to a professional in that industry. Because again, I really wrote these books so I could explain it to my younger self. I'm not really trying to be the expert in these topics because I am not trying to be a jack of all trades. That's not my purpose. That's not what I'm trying to do. I have no interest in that. But I am here to get your mind exposed to everything that we should have known when we was younger. Because there's no reason why we should not learn about real estate. No reason why we shouldn't learn about life insurance, credit, how to communicate. It's just a lot of things that grinds my gears when I think about where I'm at now, where I could have been if I knew the information that I know now back then. So yeah, I'm signing off on that. I think I mentioned the 75 hard because I'm about to head out to the gym. I think that's why I mentioned it. I'm not too sure, but if it comes back to me, I'll bring it up in the next episode. Oh, I know why. Because we made it 32 days. All right, that's 30 days. 30 days. I didn't want to tell nobody what I was doing until after 30 days. So now that we made it after 30 days, I'm going to take a chair with you to goodbye. I don't know if it's bad luck to cheers with water, but I got my water here. So we're going to do a cheers. I don't think you can't take a shot with water, but we're going to cheers to my water. Hope it's not bad luck. But I'm a God-fearing man, so I don't really care about bad luck or luck. God's luck is the only luck we need. But y'all ready? Never above you, never below you, always beside you. May we live as long as we want and never want as long as we live. And may the pain that we ever endure be champagne, alcohol free. Salute. All right, bet. On that note, I'll see y'all next time. YouTubers, be great, be blessed, buy the best, and I'll see you next time.